Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back here on the bridge, and today, yes, we will be on the Golden Nagus. Yes, captains, but before we get into this video, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. But also, if you're new here, welcome. Consider subscribing here to the YouTube bridge. We're always on the lookout for like-minded captains to share our love, passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now that said, here we go. Yes, captains, finally, the ship that was considered a myth, legend, is now part of our fleet, and we couldn't be any happier. But what we're going to do in this video is go over the build, go over the weapons, space set, consoles, traits, stations, and DOFs, and then take it into a Cure Advanced to see how it does. Now, this ship was a surprise, kind of the last surpriser of 2024, as it was given away literally for free. All we had to do was log in or the promotions tab and claim it. So hopefully, captains, you were able to claim it. Now, if you're a new captain, if you missed it, there may be a chance that they may bring this back. Just have to wait and see if they decide to do so. But this ship was the last parting gift from our former community manager, Ambassador Kael. He pushed for this ship to be given to us. And again, thank you, Ambassador Kael, for essentially making it happen. Now, this ship caused quite a controversy when it first sort of released. And what we're going to do now and put on screen here is a message that some captains received a while back. And when I say a while back, I'm talking about like 9 years ago. They received this message, and it caused quite the uproar in the community. So the message was: a glorious ship for you, Captain. As a token of our appreciation for your unwavering support of Star Trek Online, we have included an incredibly limited account-bound code for a Tier 6 Ferengi Nagus Marauder ship. The ship is plated in a dazzling gold color and is sure to stand out on your missions throughout the final frontier. You will find this ship equipped with onboard access to the bank and exchange, a freelance Ferengi trade account contact, Lieutenant Commander Tactical / Intel Specialist seat, and the Battle Mode 4000, which enables an EMP burst or a swarm missile system when in full battle mode. Thank you again for your outstanding support of Star Trek Online. This was 9 years ago, and it's right there. Shout out to Counter JMB. I'm assuming that they got this, but a lot of us didn't. I did not. And I just remember this being a hot topic and no one really having a clear understanding of why one did receive this, other than a token of our appreciation, meaning when you support, well, you spent in real life resources getting things in game. So there was nothing mentioned, but we thought it was long lost. Now, what had happened was, on December of 2024, well, they decided to give this to us. So it was a great gesture and a great last sort of parting gift there, as I mentioned, from Ambassador Kael. Now, not only did they give us this ship, but it also included a couple things. So, of course, the ship right there, but we also received outfit boxes there. Now, I'm not going to never use them. Well, I guess not never. At least we have them. But again, it was a limited time giveaway. Now, for PC players, it was only available from November 26 to December 10. And of course, it says console, it was only December 3rd until the 17th. So, will it come back? Who knows? Well, actually, it was actually pushed, but will it come back? We don't know. Hopefully they do. Now, they did make an actual change to the ship. In the note there 9 years ago, it said it was Intel, but they actually changed it to have a commander engineer command. So, which is great for us as captains. As you know, we'll go back here to the Stowbridge. As you know, command / torpedoes is one of our favorite things to use Star Trek Online. So this was pretty awesome. Now, we've used this ship before, and let me tell you, it is a fun ship. 100% a fun ship. The only kind of gripes I have with it, to be honest, is kind of the camera angle. It's sort of not really centered as much. I feel like this should be back a little bit more so that it would sit perfectly, but it's okay. Other than that, it's a gold-plated Marauder ship, Ferengi Marauder ship, and has some visual differences here. As you can see here, the aft has a little bulk there, and the front here has kind of like pincers here, it looks like. But again, it's free, and we've had fun with it here, and that's why we want to share it here on the bridge. Now, of course, as I mentioned, we gave it a torp build, so it is the Ferengi Nagus Marauder, and we named it the Golden Kael in honor of Ambassador Kael. So let's go over the weapons here. So we'll start on the 4. So first up is the Enhanced Biomolecular Photon Torpedo, which is from the Undine Rep. Still one of the hardest hitting torpedoes in game. The Delphic Distortion Torpedo, which you can get from the Lobi store. Next, we have the Dark Matter Quantum Torpedo, which is from the Discovery Rep. And we rounded it off here at the front with 2 Maelstrom Quantum Torpedoes, because these torps just hit like a truck. And I mentioned this in my previous video of the Helios. I hope we get a Maelstrom Photon Torpedo. That would be absolutely insane. Now, the space set here. So the Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector from your fleet colony. The Prevailing Innovative Impulse Engines from the Competition Rep. Exfoliated Nucleating Warp Core, which was a event reward. And the Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield, which is from the Discovery as well. As for the aft weapons, we have the Elite Fleet Jernor Tricobalt Mine Launcher, of course from the fleet's colony there. And then 2 Thorin Infused Quantum Mine, which I think we got from the Undine Rep. They still hit pretty hard as well. So the devices, here we have the Temporal Negotiator, the Kobayashi Maru Transponder for its buff goodness, Deuterium Surplus for a little bit evasive maneuver in the can, and some Torp Candy with a plus 30% bonus projectile damage for 20 seconds and plus 5% critical severity for 20 seconds. On to the consoles here. We have the Bioneural Infusion Circuits, which is still one of my favorite consoles, staple on all my builds mostly, with a straight up 26.2% critical severity, but it also gives us some hull capacity. We're going to use the Ferrofluid Hydraulic Assembly, which is from the Terran Rep. Gives us some more hit points, but the important thing here is the minus 0.5 second shared torpedo recharge time. We're going to use a Covert Warhead Module, which is from the Terran Eagle, for the plus 28% projectile damage. It sets shared torpedo recharge to 1.5 seconds if it was longer, or to 0.5 seconds if equipped. The ship has pilot. Of course, this doesn't have pilot, but that's okay. We're using it for that purpose. We don't use the clicky because it turns us invisible, and we're just using it for the straight up damage there. Next up, the Ordnance Accelerator from the Gamma Rep, for its minus 1.5 second shared mine recharge time, but also plus 20% mine, 26.3% projectile weapon damage. Then next up here, we're going to be using this, the Universal VAQ Warhead Multiple Launch System, which is from the lower deck ship, the Texas, for the plus 31.2% kinetic and beam damage and 16.3 hull capacity. Of course, this stores up to 12 charges, uses all when firing. Each charge launches a VAQ warhead at a random foe within a target of 135-degree arc, which splits into 6 projectiles after 1.25 seconds. So with a default of 3 clicks. Foe hit before the split, though, is 19,370.8 kinetic damage. Foe hit within 4 clicks of the split, 6,456.9 kinetic damage times 6. If no hit, far away foe is 6,456.9 kinetic damage. So very, very good console for torps. I like it, other than the visual. It's purple, but that's okay. It's canon, so we'll go with it. Another console that we love to use on our builds is the DPRM, or the Dynamic Power Reservoir Module. This comes from the Atlas, aka the prototype Dreadnought, which you can get from your event campaign as a prize there. We're getting it for the 11.3 all damage resistance rating, not for the 19% direct energy damage, but for the clicky. This is essentially my only heal on the ship. Bonus damage resistance, hull regen for 20 seconds, plus 40% bonus damage while your hull is above 80%, plus 100 bonus damage resistance rating, plus 500% hull regen. Literally what we're using it for. We're going to use the console that comes with the ship, as mentioned in that little blog there, that message. It's Battle Module 4000. It does give a plus 2% critical chance. Has an EMP burst, reduces power levels and power transfer, reduces all subsystem max energy for 30 seconds for 230 for 12 seconds. Reduces power transfer rate by 66% for 30 seconds. Prevents the use of batteries for 30 seconds. But that's not why we're using it. This is why we're using it. Battle mode. Transform ship. Roll out. Yes. What does it do? It gives you swarm missiles. Massive kinetic damage, 135-degree targeting arc. So 20,735.6 kinetic damage times 8. When firing energy weapons, 2.5 chance on 1,345.6 physical damage every 1 second. 10 seconds. When firing projectiles, 10% chance for 1,345.6 physical damage every 1 second for 10 seconds, and ignores shields. So what this looks like is this. We hit that icon here, put it on the tray, the Marauder Battle Mode. Check this out. Woo! That is so good. So the front here, this extends out. This, I guess this is the missile pod, pops out. And then these two things lower down as well. And you can see that again if you click it again, just transform. It's pretty cool. Not going to lie, it's pretty cool. But of course, we're using it because, of course, of the missiles on a torp build. Kind of makes sense. Kind of a quick transformation, but that's how it works. And definitely something that we're going to use in the TFO. We'll continue on here. The last tactical consoles here. So last one here, we have the Swarmer Matrix, which we just bought off the exchange. Plus 30% turn speed, flight speed, and damage for your hangar pets, but also targetable torpedoes. Plus 50 projectile weapon training. Point defense, bombardment warhead. Plus 25% projectile damage, plus 1% cute critical chance. Now it is work in tandem and is a 2-piece set with a DPRM that gives plus phaser damage, but we don't really have that, so it's here definitely for the torp madness. And the last two consoles, we have a advanced tactical vulnerability exploiter, or the 9.8 critical severity, plus 34.5% torpedo damage, and we just thought we would use a locator with a 2% critical chance, but 3.45% torpedo weapon damage. So that is the build. Stat wise, that gives us crit chance of 35.9% and crit severity of 201.1%. Now keep in mind, captains, I do have my Pendevers helping me. I am at level 600. I can go to 750, but I was doing before the level cap, so, and we're doing fine now. No reason for us to keep going, at least for our purposes, which is of course to show captains that you can still do okay without having your Pendevers maxed. But 600 is a lot, but in fairness, I maxed that out when we first got it. So that is that. Now for skills, we haven't changed anything here. We still have 8 spent in engineering, 10 spent in Psi, and 28 spent in tactical. I have no inkling to change this in the near future. It's been like this for years, and it served me quite well. Now I'll go to the traits. Personal space traits, we got a good day to die, superior projectile training, self-modulating fire, kinetic precision, hot pursuit for our mines, fleet coordinator, unconventional systems, Terran targeting systems, intelligent agent attaché, and Zibboimler effect. And for our starship traits, this is what we got going on because this is a torp build. We have entwine tactical matrices, our back-to-back torp spreads, universal designs to help give us a little bit more crit chance, crit severity, the ruin of our enemies, a little bit more damage as well, and one of my favorite starship traits, the assault formation theta. Attack pattern omega, the cloaking grants torpedo high yield, weapon crit chance, and turn rate. And then we are using the subspatial warheads. For our space reputation traits here, we have the precision, advanced targeting systems, omega kinetic shearing, torpedo pre-fire sequence, and Tyler's duality. Stations, this is what we got going on, left to right, top to bottom. Beam fire at will, cannon scatter volley, this will activate our back-to-back torpedo spreads. Next we have chemosite lace weaponry, mine dispersal pattern beta 1, attack pattern omega 1, which of course is going to give us our high yield 3, and of course the benefits as well with omega. Next up, and of course this is the change on this ship, is them giving it command. The emergency powered engines, emit unstable warp bubble, concentrate firepower 3, and call emergency artillery 3. Next station here, endothermic inhibitor beam 1 and structural integrity collapse 2. We have Dr. Crusher here because with her psi team 1, we're going to get an additional high yield 1, and we can use that back to back with our high yield 3 when we activate attack pattern omega. And then scramble sensor. So we'll show that here. How I activate this is, you'll see here above my shield HUD here, we'll hit attack pattern omega. There is my high yield 3. I'll hit psi team. There is my high yield 1, and then I'll hit FA. There's my torp spread. So my first volley is going to be a torpedo mess towards the enemy. So this is why I build them out like this, or have those as my stations, because yes, we like back-to-back torp spinning madness. We do. Next, we'll go to our doofs. We'll go to our doofs here. Ground, the 2 helping us in space, Elder Milikatan for increased damage, and then Neil Falconer, increased damage versus the Borg. I know it says ground, but it helps us in space. And this is what we got here for our space. Emergency Con, holographic officer here, recharges our evasive maneuvers when using emergency powered engines. We got C. Tarsa, projectile weapons officer, that gives us a chance to reduce the time to recharge torpedoes. And then a projectile officer again for a chance to stack crit severity when firing our projectiles. And another one, but this time a chance to reduce the time to recharge mines. Dlyrene for increased damage versus the Borg. And then 38 of 7, reduce other bridge officer ability cooldowns after using 1, which is more specific to the command. So there you go, that is the build. We are on this golden ship, never thought we would have it. And though I'm not the hugest fan of the Ferengi faction, at least we have this now, and it's across accounts. And if I decide to make a Ferengi, well, I'll have a ship for it, but for now it is on my main and we put this build on it. So let's go into a cure, and as we normally do to test this out, we're going to go to the left dock station, clear that out, head over to the right side, clear the box heading towards the cannon, clear the right side, and then finish off any other lingering ships heading towards the cannon, and then clear out the middle, and then finish off the TFO. This is always my testing ground when it comes to torps. Now, in terms of its performance, it's a torpedo boat. I believe I've gotten plus 700k out of it, and I did not T6X to it, and it's still performing relatively well. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's get some mines out, spitting out here. Ready our 2 torps there, and we'll head over there as soon as we can to clear out that, activate our torp spread. Here we go with our basic maneuvers. Clear that out. Over here, just in case. Why not call some ships out there? There's a torp spread. See, like, this is just torp menace. I forgot to activate battle mode, so let's throw some missiles out there too. Why not? We get to these ships too and clear. Just make sure we clear them too. Get some mines going there that way. Make sure we don't forget about you. Don't think we forgot about you. That should clear that one. There you go. Now we can concentrate on this right side docking station. Get some missiles going too as well, why not? There goes that. There goes that. Got a Raptor here. As you can tell, I am saving some of my buffs here because I still have the middle to go through. Just torp spread madness, I love it. Let's head over to the middle here. Clear out these neg bars heading over. To the king, and whew! Now we can concentrate on the last dock station. Let's clear everything out here. Some missiles in there. Look at all that. Woo! I love torpedo builds, Caps. I love torpedo builds. Just got to clear, I believe, this last Raptor there. Then these last two nanite probes. Bam. Done. And there you go. Map is clear. So let's tell the Kang to get out of here. And again, I'm usually kind of spreading out my buffs because that I'm only here by myself and making sure that I'm not using just regular attacks when it comes to the Bori here. And just like that. Woo! I mean, we know torp builds are gonna perform well when you synergize it and max it out. Especially for us, that's what we built most of our resources in game for, is or spent our in-game resources to boost up our torp performance. So there you go. We'll probably go over here, take a shelfie that'll probably be used for the thumbnail. If the Kobayashi Maru would stop giving us some buffs there. I'm not sure if I got it there. There you go. Now we got it. It's a fun ship. It is definitely a fun ship. We'll actually take two shelfies. We'll take one in battle mode and then one without. Again, ship selfies are known here on the bridge as shelfies. So there you go. That is how it did. After this last one, let's go head out here and give our final two ECs. But you see how it did, Captain. It cleared, or captains, it cleared out that map pretty well. Not really a problem. It is not as squishy as the Ilios. And of course, we always have fun when we use our torpedoes on any ship. So that is the build, Captains. It's fun. And I'm 100% thankful again to Ambassador Kael for making this happen, because it is shipped now that everyone hopefully was able to get. And if you didn't, Captains, maybe they will release it again here in 2025 as a yearly recurring thing. And when it does come out, we will let you know again so that you can get this for yourself. But it was a great gesture from Cryptic, from Ambassador Kael, to give us this ship. So that's going to be the video. Do us a huge favor, hit that like button. Comment below, let us know if you were able to also get this ship and what you did with it in terms of the build. Again, if you're new here, subscribe to the YouTube Bridge, and we'll leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.